Hello everyone. Today we're flying the Newport 24 and we're going to use Massey Aerodrome in Maryland, which by the way has aviation shows during the summertime. They actually have a show coming up pretty soon, and you can find all their information on Google. But they have all kinds of antique and vintage airplanes, and it's a good place to go. I think there's quite a few of these around the Delaware, Maryland, Virginia area that have these type of vintage operations going on, which is great. So anyway, today we're going to utilize their airport and fire this Newport up. It seems to be really a nice airplane to fly. It's kind of fun to fly. It's got a few gadgets with it. I haven't picked up on everything yet, but it's got some neat little features to it. As you see here, I'm pulling out a little clipboard, and you can hook up your fuel pump or your fuel tank from the outside. And once you do that, there's a pump lever to pump the fuel to get your pressure up. And I had already pumped it up, so it was at 14 psi, which was enough to start it. Then the mixture goes in, and then there's a hand crank. That gets her fired up, and you bring a little bit of throttle in, get her running. So it's a pretty unique way of starting up the aircraft. If you don't have the pressure up via the pump, when you crank on it, she might fire, but she's going to stop. She won't stay running, so you have to make sure that you have the pressure up to 14 psi at least. But the engine has a really cool sound to it. Sounds like your typical rotary engine, and the sound that it produces while you're flying is pretty good. I mean, they've got it matched pretty decent for open cockpit airplanes. You can actually hear the wind through the wires, and that's what you should be hearing. So yeah, they got the engine down pat. Here we're hooking the tank back up just to give you an outside view of what it looks like. Very vintage. It's actually on little wagon wheels. And you have a chalk selection, or a selection to put chalks down. When I did it here, you couldn't see the chalks because the grass is so deep. And then the other option you have is a cover, cockpit cover, which I'll show you there. And that's what it looks like with the cockpit covers, the chalks, and the gas pump all set up. And once you fire the airplane up, that all goes away automatically. So, but I just went ahead and manually got rid of all of it, and then put the clipboard back and fire it back up. Yeah, too, they have a cowling removal tool on there too, so I guess so you can look into the engine. Getting ready to take off here. A little tricky on the rudders, you gotta be really on the rudder. But it's a quick airplane, it builds up speed pretty quick. Kind of reminiscent of a Luskin in real life. You gotta keep those main wheels down, wings level. That wingtip will come up on you fast. The plane is very maneuverable. I always like the Newports. especially this paint scheme. And it comes with a few other paint schemes that are all pretty cool looking as well. But this is probably the most famous paint scheme for the Newports. But again, it handles really well. The stall on it is really just a mush. It just kind of falls, the nose falls, and you just let it go down and bring the nose back up slowly and add a little power. There she is with the power off. Kind of let the wings get a little bit level, and she just kind of falls off. Didn't drop any wing, just fell straight forward. Let her build some airspeed back up, bring your power in. And here I had full power and go up and over. It does this pretty effortlessly. I was kind of surprised. I thought maybe I would have to build a little bit more speed to get over the top, but it didn't. Easy roll, very smooth, easy to do. Kind of have to feed a little rudder in, monitor your power. This windscreen kind of cracks me up, man. When you get the sun behind you, that reflection off the windscreen will just blind you. You can't see anything in front of you. It has hinges on it. And I thought maybe it folded down, and maybe it does. Maybe I figured out how to do it. But it has hinges on it so you can bring the windscreen down. I guess. Maybe it's just for looks. But maybe there is a way for it to come down. I just haven't really looked around yet. Doing a little slip to bleed off some speed. The plane comes in pretty quick. I was trying to slow it down a little bit more than what I did. I came in a little hot. The speed does bleed off once you get it in closer to the runway. I was able to kind of bleed off a little bit of speed, but I think I came in a little bit too hot. But she planted down nice, and the wing stayed level for me. Didn't get too much of a bounce, which I was surprised for my first landing. But wow, do you have to hold on once she gets down to slow speed. There goes the wingtip down. Classic Lusby, or you'll see how I come around here. I'm coming around gently, and she still dropped her wingtip right there. Mechanics are going to love me. And I had a time trying to get her back up. Finally got in enough rudder to bring it back up to the level side of the house. But yeah, you have to be very careful on the ground with it. It wants the ground loop very easy and understandable with the wheel stance that it has. But it's a fun plane to fly. I really enjoyed it, and I just picked it up today and I thought, well, I'll take it for a ride and use Massey Aerodrome, which again has air shows all summer long. So if you're around the Maryland area, look them up. probably enjoy it, and they do give rides. So, all right, that's all I got. Just wanted to introduce the Newport 24. Talk to y'all later.